Hi and welcome again. In the last video, we have completed our integration with Result. We have improved our performance. We have created a very complex query. We are fetching now tweets with the has liked field and with also the count of all the likes. So that was a very big video, or you can say a big part, and we have learned a lot of things in that video, in that part. Now we are going to build our reply functionality. When a user click on one tweet, then they will be able to reply to the tweet and they will be able to again reply to that tweet. So this is a very cool functionality, a very great functionality which will make this web application unique, and I am pretty sure that you will not see any of this feature in any of the tutorial on the internet. This is a very unique feature which is mostly similar to the main Twitter application. If you visit twitter.com, you can click on a tweet, then you can reply, and then you can reply on a tweet, and then you can reply on again. So it is an infinite loop. So we can create this on our own. So you will see how we create it very easily using Next.js and Supabase and Result. So let's start building that part. And before that, we will fix some things here and there, and we will then start building the main part, which is reply feature. So let's go. So here, as you can see, this is our application, and we can like this and we can remove our like as well. And if we refresh this, everything is good and perfect. We can also tweet. This is a new tweet. Now we want to implement a new functionality. When we click this, a new model will open, and then we will be able to submit a new reply to this tweet. So let's build that part. First of all, we need a new model. For that, we will use ui.shadecn.com. That's the thing we need. So let's go to the app page. Here we have main component, left sidebar and right sidebar. That's good. In the component, in the client component, we have did a mistake that this like button is use client, okay, but this tweet is use server. But as you can see, we are getting everything in this component from as a props. So if you even use this component as a use client component, it will still work. If you hit refresh, you can see this is still working the same. Now it's good. And now if someone clicks on this tweet, so on click, we will open a new model. Okay, so we will open the reply model, or we can say the dialog. So let's go to the twitter.com and we will find out how it works. So you can see if we hover over it, you can see a little bit of white color is here. Okay, so if we click this and if we click on this reply, it will open a new window where we can reply to this tweet. So we want to build this thing. So when we click this, we will build this model. So not the whole thing, only when we click on this chat thing. So this is a button, and when we click this, open the reply dialog. So here we can define our dialog. So we can wrap this thing inside a fragment. This is called React fragment, and here we can define our dialog. We can copy and paste the dialog code from ui.shadecn.com. Get started in the dialog, not in the alert dialog, in the dialog. Here you can copy and paste. You can see there are two styles, but yeah, now we will copy this thing. This is our dialog. Also copy this and paste here. It's good. And when this is opened, when we click our chat button, so instead of here, we can cut this thing, we can paste it over here, and for the trigger, we can use this button. Cut this, paste here, button, cut this, save, and for the trigger, we can use as child, so that when we click over this button, it will assume that we are triggering our likes. So now let's go to our application. Here you can see we can't able to hover it. So let's give it some effects like we have given to the like button. So here you can copy the classes, same, and we will use these classes for our button. Now if you hover over it, okay, it is still not working. Let's refresh this. Something is missing here. Okay, so our app got hang. Why is that? Localhost 3000. And now you can see we can hover over this like the like button. We can like this. We can remove the like. If we click this, we can see we are opening a nice model, but we don't want a lot of white shadow. You can see this is the opacity is much cleaner. So we can improve our dialog. Let's go to the dialog, and this is our dialog overlay. We can fix this. So BG background 80. So instead of 80, let's do it 20. So it will refresh. If we click this now, it is much clearer. Let's do it 10. We can remove the blur as well. Let's remove the blur, or we can keep it. The blur looks good. So now it's much clearer. Here we can reply to the tweet. So just we need to create a new server component over here. But remember, we cannot use a server component inside client component. Am I right? Yeah. Here you can see server component inside client component. So you can summarize the differences between server component and client components here. So on the top level, if you can see, this is our page and this is a server component. We have another server component. In this we can have a client component, but in the client component we cannot have a server component. That is the main point. In the server component we can have client component. That's the thing to remember, and which is pretty obvious if you think that if your client component has some interactivity and it is already gone to client, which means this is publicly available and our server code is private. That's why we can't code anything server inside our client. And if we have a server component, inside it we can create a client component. This is pretty obvious and easy to remember. This is a technique I use to remember which is client and what is this. So in the client component we cannot declare a server action or anything. Okay, so to use it, basically we will use in the mutation. If we go to the mutation, just like we are using the like tweet, unlike tweet actions, we will use these actions to do our stuff while submitting the reply. So here we will implement our reply thing. Let's create another model in the component, in the client component. Here we will create a new component which is reply model or reply dialog.tsx, and it is a client component by default. Use server, not use server, use client. RAFCE, here we can say reply dialog. Here we can cut the whole thing and we can import the reply dialog just like that. Save this thing. Now we need to cut this also. Paste here, import this. Everything is good. Okay, so now it's good. What we need to style it a little bit. So go to this. We need a tweet here. So basically we need the tweet details like this. So we are just rendering this whole component and we are showing it over here, and then we will show a reply box here. So what we can do, we can import the tweet again inside this, but and that would be not a good approach. We can copy the whole thing and we can show this over here. So this is for image. So if we try to reply this, you can see we are only rendering the text and then we are showing then the Twitter is showing the image URL. We can actually remove both of the things. So if we do this, yeah, so we need to copy the whole thing. We are not going to copy everything, but you will see what we are doing here. Remove the title as we don't need it. Remove the description as well. Remove the header. We only need the content. We don't need this. Yeah, we need the username, full name, text. We need the date. We need text, and then we don't need this whole bottom thing. So the data we need the tweet. So reply dialog props. So here we will define our props. We will say type is reply dialog props, which is tweet, and that's all we need. It will accept tweet. Import the stuff here like that. Import everything, and here we will say it is the type of tweet which we are getting over here. Same. Import this icon. And if we save this, and we will go and we will see how it is looking. Refresh the whole thing. It's slow. It is stuck sometimes, but yeah, let's go to localhost 3000. This happens sometimes when we are developing an early stage product. Okay, it is stuck, so we have to open. Okay, so our browser is hang. I don't know why it is happening, but it may happen. Now it is gone. We will open the localhost. Okay, so we are not passing the tweet from here. So we will say the tweet is tweet. Save this thing. Okay, so it is getting us in the problem. So what I will do, I will open my new window and I will use this over here. Yeah. So if we open this, we can see our model here. Why it is not opening here? Yeah, we can see. If we open this, we can see this, but we don't want this inside our. So the problem we are facing here, if we open this reply model, this is the thing which we don't need. What is this? So let's BG slate. This is a new tweet, BG slate. This is we don't need. Where is this? Yeah. So this thing we don't need. And the text is gray. Let's use that. Text white. And we have to make this dialog content look as our tweet? So for that, we need to give some classes to it, like bg plague, and the classes we are giving. Let's go here. Yeah, it's good. So we can give it bg plague. It's plague. We don't need the border as well. So border is none. It's good. Text is white everywhere. We can remove this. Now it is looking much better. And if we go to the tweet, here you can see this is our avatar, which we have removed by assuming it as a picture. So now it's good. We can give some space to it. So my4, yeah. So let's assume a big tweet, create a big tweet, generate paragraph, hit enter, or tweet is submitted. In if we open this, yeah. Now this is looking just like a Twitter timeline, and this is awesome. You can see now we can open tweet, and now we want to reply to this tweet. For that, we need to create a reply thing, or we can say the input thing. So we will go to Twitter again. Here we are. If we click over here, you can see replying to Pranjal Soni. So we can also show that replying to this. For that, create another division, replying to @ and here we will show the username tweet.userprofile.username. And if we go to here, you can see replying to here, and we can now use our input box here. Create a division. We will use the input from UI. It's totally good to use anything like won't change or anything. So save this. This is our input. Here we can submit our reply. Let's make this look better, just like our tweet. So if we go to main component, if we go to the compose tweet form, here you can see the all input classes, and we will use the exact classes over here because it is much similar. You can see now it is good, and we can use the simple input field. We need to show the current user avatar as well. So what we can do, we can name it flex w full items center space x4. Here we can create a avatar as well. So instead of a dummy avatar, you can show the original avatar of user. Now we have something we can type. It's looking good. Let's make it 2. So now if we open any of the window, you can see we can type over here and we can reply, and that's okay. That's cool. I want to give it maximum width of LG. Let's see how it works. After SM, we are giving the maximum width of LG. So instead of that, what I will do, I will give it XL, maximum width of MD. Let's see what we are giving. After SM, maximum width of LG. Okay. If I remove this, after SM, maximum width of, let's go with SM. Yeah, we have to refresh this. Let's go with XL. Now if you open this, you can see this is bigger. We want to make it much bigger, so we can go with 2XL. So if we open this, you can see this is better. This is the only single tweet, and it is rendered twice. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Now we can reply something here. And let's assume we have a bigger reply, which is standard paragraph. So it should get bigger. So instead of text, instead of input, we can use something called text area. If you hit save, you can see this is bigger. If you hit, you can see we can also scroll, and it's better. Then open this, you can see we can see all the things over here. This is good. Now we just need to submit this reply. So for that, we can use form hook or something similar. But what we are doing, we will just use the use state hook and the on change. This is simple, and we can just use that. Reply text, which is empty, import. It is a string, you can say, but it is already assuming it is a string because we have empty string over here. So we can say it. The value of it is reply text, and when we on change it, it has event, and we can set the reply text to event.target.value, just like that. Save this thing. We have text area, and now if we hit submit, if you go to Twitter, and we can show a reply button just like in the compose form tweet button. So copy this thing also here. I will paste this, and we will see how it is looking. So you can see we can tweet. Instead of tweet, we will say reply, and this is below the container. So we can cut this container and we can paste it here. So it is below the container. You can see this is our container. We can show a little border here. So instead of this, you can see this is our reply area, and here we have our reply button, which is exactly similar to just like Twitter. Here we can open this. Let's try to submit a reply, and when we click on this button, we will submit something. We will do something. So what we will do when this is clicked, we will submit a server action just like tweet. So in the like tweet, where is our like tweet component? Close everything, go to the like button here. This is what we are going to do. So we will copy the whole thing. Copy this, paste over here, copy this, paste over here. Instead of using this browser client, now we can use Supabase from our authentication provider, Supabase, just like that. And here we can say Supabase dot. So yeah, like that. Here we can get the user, and here we can do the things we like. Import the use transition hook from React. Is reply pending start transition, and here we can, instead of is like pending, we can show is reply pending. And here instead of this, we can submit or we can say insert a row into the DB. Which DB? The reply table. Like that. It is simple, and we need to do something, so we will do this. And we can import the toast to show some toast. Please log into reply to a tweet. And if this is failed, authentication failed. That's good. Everything looks good now. And we just need to insert a row into our database. For that, we'll go to our mutation. Here we will say export const reply and reply. Yeah, that's good. Reply async, and it will accept one thing. It will accept tweet ID. It can accept two things basically. It can accept tweet ID. For now, just accept the tweet ID, and in the future I will tell you what it can accept more. Tweet ID, which is a string, just like that. And here we will await DB dot insert which table you want to insert. So we can say we want to insert in the replies table. So this table we want to insert. It accepts two things: text, user ID, and tweet ID or reply ID. Yeah, we need the user ID as well. This is a must. Can say user ID, which is string dot values. Here we can pass down the values. The text is, yeah, basically we also need the text, which is reply text. Copy this. It is also a string. So here we can say the text is reply text. The user ID is user ID. The tweet ID is tweet ID. That's all. Now it will work like charm. That's all we need. Here, if you want, you can, let's assume your reply is HTML. You are submitting rich text into your database. So you can sanitize or you can verify your reply text before saving into your DB. So here you can see you can verify, or instead of saying verify, what we can say, you can check the reply text is true or not. For now we will just check if this is a string or not. For that we can directly do if not reply, which can't be happen because we are checking if it is reply. Here we can say if reply text is not equal to empty string, or we can say, yeah, then do this, otherwise don't do this. So we can say if reply is equal to empty string, or reply text dot length, which is the reply text length, is less than 1 character or 2 character. Okay, so we can allow 1 character reply. That's totally good. We can return. So now we just need to use this reply over here. So reply, here it will accept few things. Reply text, it will accept tweet ID, it will accept user ID, and we have all of them. We have user dot ID. The tweet ID is, we have tweet dot tweet details dot ID. Save this. And when this is successfully done, what we need to do, we need to close the model. Which model? We need to close the reply model. For that, first we have to control the model, if we can open this or not. So here we can define a state. Use a state like that. Is reply model, is reply dialog open? Initially it is false. Basically. And here we can say on change, set is reply change, and yeah, we can control it by set is reply change. And it is open, which is reply dialog open, like that. And we can make it close like that. So start transition, reply dot, then here we can make it false. We can disable this button, and if we get something error, we can show toast dot error, something went wrong with DB. Save this thing. Here we are. We will click on here. This is a reply. We will click on reply, and it is closed, as you can see. And now if we go to our database, in the replies, we should be able to see one row of our first reply. So you can see this is a reply, and this is a tweet, and it's totally awesome. Tweet ID, we have tweet ID, and we have everything we need here. And that is awesome. That is totally awesome. So now if you this is tweet. If you click on the select record, you can see it will select a record from the, so this is a reply we have submitted to this tweet, and we now can render this reply. If we click on this whole tweet, we should be able to see the reply. So for that, what we can do, if we click on this reply, we can show the reply count as well. So now for this, we have to create a new UI for that. So if you go to the tweet component, here you can say when the user clicks this division, we should open something, or we should redirect to something. Okay, and also we can hover when this is hovered, PG white 5. So when this is hovered, we are not able to see. Let's do it 20. Refresh this and it will work. Sometime it got stuck. Now you can see we are getting this white here. So let's do it 10. Refresh. This is slow. I can say this is slow now. 5 would work. And let's give it some transition and also some timing, so it will work. Let's open localhost again in the new window. It's good, just like Twitter, a little bit of whiteness. And when we click this, just like Twitter, we should also make this cursor as a cursor pointer. But the problem is, for that, if we open the localhost, if we click this, this is not opening. Okay, so it is slow. Let's open again in new window. If we click this, you can see we are opening a new model, which is totally good. The model is good. And if we click this, we are clicking two things. We are clicking this model and we are clicking this. If we click this, this should open a new window. But the problem is, if we click this, it will also get this clicked. Not this. If we click this, okay, so let me tell you what I'm saying. Console.log whole tweet clicked. This is whole tweet clicked. And if we go to the reply dialog, here you can remove this. Here you can see console.log reply dialog clicked. So now if you open the console, I'm not sure why it is slow, but it is painfully slow. Let's open it inside Firefox. So you can see this is our Twitter and it is looking dope. I can say this is looking dope. If we go to tools, if we go to browser tools, if we go to browser console, this is our console. You can see browser console mode. And if I click on this tweet, and nothing is happening, or is the correct console. Let me open web developer tools. This is our console. So the problem I'm saying is, if I click on this whole tweet clicked. If I click on this button, then first of all, the whole tweet will be clicked, and then this button will be clicked. So reply dialog clicked, whole tweet clicked. So we want to prevent clicking the whole tweet when we click on that button. So for that, we can separate these things out. So instead of clicking the whole tweet, we can differentiate what we want to click. So this is the whole division. This is the whole text division. And we can only make this thing clicked. That's what I'm saying. And we can use this all fancy animation over here. So now our problem is gone and we should be able to fix this. So let me open my browser as well. Localhost. This is our console. Now you can see we are getting something. And if I click on this, whole tweet clicks. If I click on this, reply dialog clicked. So there is no conflict in clicking between these things. Now if this is clicked, what we want. Now if this is clicked, this is opening reply. This is okay. This is totally fine. If this is clicked, we want to open a new timeline where the user can see all the replies of a tweet. For that, we can route this to whole different router. So for that, we can use next router. Const router is equal to use router import from next router. Here we can redirect the user to tweet likes. So if you go to Twitter and if you click on a single tweet like this, if you click on this tweet, you can see this is opening my username and then status and then the tweet ID. And then we can see all the tweets reply here. So the same thing we want to do, but we can make it a little bit of easier by doing something. If we click on this, we can redirect the user to a nested route. In the app directory, we will create a new page and then we will redirect to there. So we can say router.push. This is backticks, which means this now we can string interpolate and we can use logic inside our string. So we will say redirect the user to this tweet ID. So we can say tweet / the tweet ID. So tweet.tweetdetails.id. So redirect the user to this route and where we can see all this stuff. So remove this. Now it is hang again. I'm not sure why it is. Okay, we are not able to see any of the tweets. That's the part comes, this part happens when we are building something new with the latest tech stack. Let's open this is in Firefox. Localhost 3000, we are getting empty over here. Can we use a use router thing or can't? I'm not sure. So there is something router.refresh. Yeah, we have to use it from next navigation. That's the problem we are getting here. So now it should work. It has router.back forward push. Good. So now it will work, I think. Yeah, it's working. Open the whole thing. Now if you click this, you can see we are getting redirected to this tweet. If we go back, this is good. If we click on this, we are seeing the new reply tab or the new reply dialog. If we click this, we are getting redirected to the tweet. So now we need to create a nested route and we will fetch all the replies or the tweet there, and we will do more stuff in the next video. So thank you so much for being with me till now, and I will see you in the next video.